The hospitality of the people is second to none. Even though they rarely speak English, they are still very, very, very hospitable. In China, everything they do is for the benefit and comfort of one another. And that is a great thing that I'm going to take away from here.
It's a country I've always longed to visit, but I had thought because of its communist background, it was too closed and will not be welcoming to foreigners. But this visit has really given me a different perspective of the people, the culture, and their vision for life.
It's been an interesting trip here in China, first to Beijing and now to Nanning. And there are three broad general impressions that I get. Number one is that you really need to solve your political struggles in order to usher in an era of peace and stability, the foundation upon which you can then build a vibrant society. And then secondly, it is important to remain focused and determined, because eventually when they had that era of stability, they decided to have a common vision. The other thing is that it's a very high-tech society, as you can see, and they have worked very hard to get here.
China continues to be a good example to the developing world as it continues to make efforts to ensure that there's cooperation between developing countries and the developed world. I think that's awesome spirit of cooperation rather than competition is what I've seen here. One advantage of the population is not just being large alone. They have 1.4 billion people, but that they are disciplined in every aspect of their life, culturally, in terms of business, in terms of welcoming visitors.
Welcome all of your delegates here to Guangxi Nanning Province, and we have arranged rich schedules for you guys here, and I hope through these opportunities you can explore more about Chinese TV and television and radio's development.
Well, I think for me as a broadcast professional, the idea that we could actually move from 4K to 8K very quickly in the next about 5 to 6 years, as the Chinese have set for themselves, this target is what's awesome for me, because I've seen how HD technology has helped advance broadcasting globally, and especially in developing countries in terms of having cleaner content. Now we're transited to 4K, and just when we thought that with 4K it was getting better, we've been shown 8K technology here by the Chinese. And I think the way I've seen 8K technology being used here in terms of both audio and visual technology being used, I think it's an awesome development. So this is one of the things that I'm taking home with me to see how we can actually improve our broadcast systems down there in Nigeria and of course across Africa to help improve technology in journalism, and of course to make sure that broadcast journalism continues to compete with the rest of the world.
There is a platformization that is going on. It's no longer media, one will call it social media. It is platformization. This is infrastructure that is being built by the private sector and businesses, and it has absolutely nothing to do with media. It's just a business, but they are very popular. They are dominating the space. So you have to understand that, and then you have to begin to adapt to these rapidly changing times. And I think from what we have seen so far, that China has done a good job and continues to do a good job of moving with the times.
The first thing I discovered is the Great Wall, which is one of the 8 wonders of the world. And it was exciting that I was there live. It's not true that the only things that Chinese people eat are frogs. I've seen different kinds of food on the table. and I've enjoyed the meals.
Oh my goodness, the food. You have to come to China and eat the food. What is more eye-opening to me is that when you sit down for a meal, you have a variety of dishes. You can have at least 10 to 12 dishes on a sitting, and there's a lot of vegetables. I'm someone that loves vegetables.
I've enjoyed myself, though the food could have been much more better. But of course, I've sampled lots of Chinese cuisines. In discovering China, we've been able to move to different places, moving to some very big parks, and of course, we've seen different history of the Chinese people. Like, for example, in Nanning here, we were able to go to the Museum of the People here, where we saw several cultures as regards their traditional drums, and then, of course, the real culture of the people.
I think this kind of program is very useful for both us and all the participants, because it's the training program, but also intercultural opportunities for everybody to be here and to experience how China has developed and how Chinese people treat our foreign guests, and how we can discuss some common purposes, the common kind of beliefs, and how we can work together in the future. I think this kind of opportunity opened a new window for everybody.
Country first is one thing I've learned from here that I'll take to Nigeria, and I would like our leaders in Nigeria to think of Nigeria first in whatever they do. With that, we'll develop.